Australia, we're in serious trouble and no one wants to talk about it. In fact, our taxpayer-funded broadcaster is actively covering it up. Over the weekend, the President of the United States launched a bold and decisive strike, decimating Iran's nuclear facilities.
Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace.
While much of the free world is celebrating, back home here in Melbourne and Sydney, thousands took to the streets, rallying in support of the terrorist regime in Tehran and its extremist leaders. Sure, it's easy to laugh like Mark Latham did when he joked, "Donald Trump is a cruel man. All those protesters waving Palestinian flags will now have to buy Iranian ones." It's funny because it's true. But here's the reality. We've imported the enemy. People marching our streets, waving the flags of a regime that hates the West, not just Israel or America, but us. And what's the ABC doing? Not warning Australians, not reporting the danger. They're promoting it. Let's talk about Nabil al-Nashar, an ABC reporter from Egypt who immigrated here from Qatar, one of the world's biggest backers of Islamic terrorism, if you didn't know. Since October 2023, Nabil has used his position at the ABC to run interference for extremist rallies. Yesterday was no different.
Today, as you might be able to see behind me, there's also a lot of Iranian flags in the air, and that's in protest to the Israeli attacks on Iran and the American attacks on the Iranian nuclear sites this morning. Many of the people I spoke to here today are pointing out what they describe as the hypocrisy of the Israeli government and the American government coming after Iran for its nuclear program when Israel is accused of having its own illicit nuclear program that is not open to the world or the IAEA. People I've spoken to also say that they point to, again, what they describe as the hypocrisy of the United States of America coming after Iran for its nuclear program when the United States is the only country in history to have used nuclear weapons in war.
Yep, standing there proudly in front of the Iranian regime flag while another man holding a photo of Iran's lead terrorist, Nabil stands there pushing the idea that Israel and America having nukes is the same as Iran wanting them. No context, no explanation of why the jihadist regime in Tehran must never be allowed nuclear weapons. Just moral relativism and propaganda that's funded by you. And on his X profile, Nabil's not just parroting the so-called anti-Zionist talking points from Islamic extremists or the far left. He's now even sharing content from the likes of Tucker Carlson. Funny how that works. The ABC would normally blacklist anyone caught promoting Tucker. But suddenly it's fine as long as they're just being anti-Israel. This isn't journalism. It's jihadist sympathy served up on your dime. Let's be blunt. Nabil al-Nashar, who was granted citizenship just 2 years ago, has no business reporting the news in this country, not when he's using his platform to elevate extremists and sow division. And definitely not when he's providing cover to a regime that 80% of Iranians themselves want gone. The Islamic regime of Iran is a death cult. Anyone waving their flag or promoting them on air has no place on our streets. Certainly not on our payroll. That's why I've launched a petition today at defundabc.com, which I need your support. This is the line in the sand. If we don't act now, we're funding our own destruction. If you agree the ABC has gone too far, like, comment, share this video, then head to defundabc.com and add your name to the growing list of Aussies who have had enough. Let's send a message. We won't pay to be lied to. We won't pay to be undermined. And we won't fund those who support our enemies.